To install NAT, Network Address Translation, you simply go to Routing and Remote Access. So first of all, we'll go to our Admin Tools and Routing and Remote Access. Now the point of NAT is to translate between public and private IP addresses. So you must have two interfaces to really take effective use of NAT. So in this computer, we actually have two NIC cards. One's called Local Area Connection 1, one's called Local Area Connection 3. They have two IP addresses in the same network, really. So to really use NAT, you have to have two NIC cards that are in different networks. So one would be the public network with the public IP addresses, one would be the private with the private IP addresses. So to add the NAT protocol, you need to go to under the IP routing section of the console, right-click General, and say New Routing Protocol. And in the list, we have NAT. Now, anytime you add a protocol, any protocol, not just NAT, you'll find when you click on it that there's nothing here, and that's because you need to assign interfaces to the protocol. So we'll right-click NAT, say New Interface, and we'll choose one of our NIC cards. We'll say Local Area Connection 1. Now again, the whole purpose of NAT is to translate between public and private IP addresses. So which interface is this? Is this on the private network or is this on the public network? We'll say Local Area Connection 1 is the public interface connected to the internet. So we want to enable NAT on this interface. Now optionally, you can enable a basic firewall, basically ICF, Internet Connection Firewall, but enabled here on NAT. We're going to skip that and just do NAT. And you click OK. And there is our public interface. And we'll have to repeat this a second time to assign the private interface. So right-click New Interface, Local Area Connection 3. And Local Area Connection 3 will be our private interface connected to the internal network. Click OK. And there we have our two interfaces. So there's public and there's private. Now for further configuration of NAT on the interfaces, we can go to the private interface and go to Properties, and we'll find that there's just not much here for the private interface. All the private interface has are inbound and outbound packet filters. So packet filtering is the same with routing as it is with NAT. So with an inbound or outbound filter, you can choose to drop traffic of certain type, of any particular source address, any particular destination address, any particular protocol or port number can be allowed or disallowed based on the filters you specify. Since that is the same as packet filters, we're going to skip that and just click OK. For the public interface, look at the properties of that. That's where all the configuration is. We have plenty of tabs here, which will be discussed in more detail in a little bit. That's where all your configuration is, the public interface. Then also you can right-click the NAT protocol itself in the console and choose properties, and so there's some other things here to configure as well.